Living as a Christian is like being a soldier in a war, battling against the world, the flesh, and the devil. To triumph over these enemies, we must remain in a constant state of conflict. Victory comes only to those who are willing to endure the struggles and challenges of this life with faith and courage. As soldiers of Christ, we must be ready to fight, to stand firm in the face of adversity, and to never give up.
I know that it's harder to recognize it when you're going through something that's got you down. I used to get angry, but not today. Today I'ma pray and surrender the doubts. I'm hearing the chatter, the devil's been talking, but you can't let that get inside of your head. It may be a mess, but there is a message. One day you'll see it and understand. We've been battling something we cannot control, carrying things that we need to let go. Open your heart and surrender it now. It may be the heaviest weight on your soul. I'm talking to someone that may need to hear it. I've been in your shoes and I've driven the road. Don't let it consume you, don't battle alone. That type of depression's a slippery slope. Wake up, anybody wanna talk about it? I'm right here. Never beat around the bush, I promise that I've been clear. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the creek without a paddle, but I made it out. Oh, I've been there. If you're dealing with a lot, I get that. You ain't gotta do it on your own. That line is open when you pray, just grab the phone. If you carry a heavy burden, lay it down and put it back in his hands. I'm here to tell you at your lowest, you can know that he's still working when you don't understand.
Every time I feel like I come up with a plan, the devil be plotting his motive too. Discussing with God on my weaknesses, but I just hate that the enemy know him too. I am not like all these other artists who be selling their music with no truth. Not just telling you about what I came from, but I be telling you about what I'm going through. I've been reading my Bible for clarity, I just been seeking some answers, I'm searching. Watching my parents divorce after 20 years, you can't tell me the devil not working, man, that really hurt me. I am affected by these generational curses. I guess that's a regular thing, but I'm not a regular person. No, I'm not perfect, but I'ma change the industry, I'm about to set it on fire. Sending me in like I'm Jeremiah. Sending me in, but I'm not the Messiah. Sending me in like I'm Moses. They tryna play with God like we don't know this. Isn't it obvious? Everyone knows it. But if they don't, then I'm here to expose it. All of these lyrics he put on my brain. Glory to God, he been going insane. All of the snakes that be trying to remain just wanna distract me with money and fame. I used to get tempted, but now I refrain. I have now broken through all of the chains. Ain't no one else in my lane. I'ma have everyone saying the name, Jesus.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Our DNA was altered around 200,000 years ago, and that's in the university's genetics books. That's not coming out of Billy Carson's book. That's the universities. They know that there was a artificial mutation done to the human genome 200,000 years ago to chromosome number 2. It was taken out, fused together, and 2 telomere caps was put on each end, which actually gave us a shortened lifespan. They're like biological buffer material. So every single time your cells divide and your DNA replicates, those buffers get smaller and smaller and smaller. And when they run out of buffer material, that's when your body starts the death process. And the maximum lifespan is 120 years that a person can live on average if we didn't have all the toxins and poisons and drugs. And so they found this at Harvard that this happens. Now, in the Sumerian tablets, it says man's years will be 120, that they genetically modified man, that we altered the life of man to reduce his years to 120.
Damn.
Guess how long ago that was? They said 200,000 years.
No doubt, flaws some type in my own design, and created you lot as merely an aesthetic experiment. Beautiful numbskulls. But your egos have run wild, say
And this one was meant to be the warlock, the apogee of their people.
You removed Adam from his cocoon early, my liege. He's still a child.
No, there's something wrong with him even outside all that.
Yes, there's something wrong with me. I was stabbed, you extraordinary bastard.
It doesn't know any better. We shall do whatever you require, my liege.
You knew of 89P13's existence for years without alerting me. That's not what I require.
I'm sorry, my liege.
Find 89P13 and return it to me, or I will destroy your entire civilization, as is my right as your maker. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yeah, sorry.
Tulu, how did 89P13 survive until...
La 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 la, wait till I get my money right.
I had a dream I could buy my way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on a necklace. I told God I'll be back in a second. Man, it's so hard not to act reckless. To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he get the message. I feel the pressure under more scrutiny. And what I do, act more stupidly. Bought more jewelry, more Louis V. My mama couldn't get through to me. The drama, people suing me. I'm on TV talking.
Slaves did work so they could have food and somewhere to sleep. That's why they work. Most of you work so you can pay rent and afford food. You don't have anything else nice, so you're still a slave. Instead of making you work for free, they give you this money and you just spend all the shit they would have given you for free if they didn't pay you. It's a big trick. And what's crazy is this. The stuff they give you to make you work, these dollars or these pounds, they just invent from the sky as much as they want. So they can just print unlimited amounts of it and they can use it to enslave you. You have to find a way to beat that system. You can't just work, pay rent, and die. That's not a life worth living. So if I'm sitting here trying to tell you how to make money, you need to take it seriously at least.
Do you know why they won't teach us the history of Egypt? After you have shackled and enslaved a people, branded, castrated, lynched, burned, and tortured them, you called them 3/5 of a man, subspecies, an ape, a monkey, and a general inferior creation, how can we then admit that they are our teachers and the ones who gave us civilization? How can we admit that we descended from Greece and from Rome, and that Greece and Rome stole everything they knew from Egypt? How to admit that? There's no room in a white supremacist psyche for black contributions to civilization or world progress. This reaches too far into the consciousness of the so-called objective white scholars of academia and their black-skinned counterparts. This is like asking a Nazi to accept the Jewish origins of Nazism and of Hitler, if that were the case. They couldn't accept it if it were true any more than the white supremacists can accept the African origins of civilization, the African origins of Christianity, the African origins of science, the African origins of everything. Philosophy originated in Egypt. Math originated in Egypt. Theology originated in Egypt. Philosophy originated in Egypt. Letters originated in Egypt. Everything started there. They were as ancient to the Romans as the Romans now are to us. And that's what we don't really understand because we live now. We don't really understand that the pyramids are 5,000 years old and that the Romans only date back 2,500 years. Like, really think about that. Because that's the world we live in. A world of lies. I'm reading from J. California Cooper's book, The Wake of the Wind. I am Africa. I am a place. I am a state of mind. Hundreds of years ago, my children lived free. We had our skirmishes within my shores, even small wars that did not disturb my great and sprawling land. We were not perfect, but we never lift our shores to seek to destroy or rob any other culture or people, to steal the fruit of their land or mines and leave the land and people ravaged. Nor did we seek to steal any people's love of themselves, nor tell other people they were ignorant savages and inferior while we were superior, as the white ones said to us. They lied so much and long they began to believe it themselves. They cried God with their mouths while holding a knife in one hand and a gun in the other, slicing and firing at vibrant life. They also brought with them other diseases, including endless greed, envy, and hate. Our nations changed. They killed for land, women, or gold, spreading their savageness to all others. And now they have influenced others. Anathema. Enough. How do we repay our debt to black people? I really want white people to think about it.
St. John the Baptist emerges from the painting, smiling enigmatically like the Mona Lisa, and with his hard, penetrating features, stares at us while pointing to the heavens. If a mirror is held up to its right-hand side, the clear features of an extraterrestrial appear. The alien in that painting is not just some modern, cynically fabricated artifact. Leonardo knew what he was trying to communicate, and he was a master of it.
Who you align yourself with is more important than anything that you can do in your life, because who you align yourself with and let into your heart will begin to guide what you do in your life.
I realize God wakes us up in the midst of a storm to teach us a lesson. He removes people we love so we can learn to value love itself. He allows us to cry so hard so that we can see clearly when we open our eyes. He allows us to be bitter so that we can realize there is no genuine happiness if we think only of our needs and not others. See, 99% of the time, God doesn't give you what you want, and it's because He loves you.
Lift me up, hold me down, keep me close, safe and sound. Burning in a hopeless dream, hold me when you go to sleep. Keep me in the warmth of your love when you depart. Keep me safe, safe and sound. Lift me up, hold me down.
Our DNA was altered around 200,000 years ago, and that's in the university's genetics books. That's not coming out of Billy Carson's book. That's the universities. They know that there was a artificial mutation done to the human genome 200,000 years ago to chromosome number 2. It was taken out, fused together, and 2 telomere capsules put on each end, which actually gave us a shortened lifespan. They're like biological buffer material. So every single time your cells divide and your DNA replicates, those buffers get smaller and smaller and smaller. And when they run out of buffer material, that's when your body starts the death process. And the maximum lifespan is 120 years that a person can live on average if we didn't have all the toxins and poisons and drugs. And so they found this at Harvard that this happens. Now, in the Sumerian tablets, it says man's years will be 120, that they genetically modified man, that we altered the life of man to reduce his years to 120.
Damn.
And guess how long ago that was? They said 200,000 years.
Babies born with tails have appendages that lack bones and can reach lengths of up to 18 centimeters. Official records as of 2017 have indicated that there were 40 babies born with true tails. These tails are soft, finger-like protrusions that can be surgically removed. Although these cases are rare, they attract significant interest due to the belief that they are benign remnants of evolution and distant ancestral connections. However, this perspective is based on an outdated theory, and the true implications of babies born with tails may be more concerning. The origin of human tails was initially theorized by Charles Darwin as accidental remnants or leftovers from tailed ancestors. Scientists in the 1980s further categorized two types of tails, true or vestigial tails and pseudo-tails, which may include bones and are associated with birth defects. Both types may be linked to spinal dysraphism, a disturbance in embryonic growth caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Babies born with tails often exhibit related neurological defects and may require surgery and neuroimaging to monitor their development. Despite the misconception that these tails are harmless genetic effects, evidence suggests they result from congenital issues. Further research is needed to understand the exact nature of these abnormalities and their embryonic origins.
The reason why people get so angry and offended and pissed off and afraid when you bring up the types of topics that we're talking about today is because, like I say all the time, when they were born, they were given a name, a race, and a religion, and now they've been defending a false identity since they've been born. And now, all of a sudden, here I come, I show up on the scene, and I'm ripping that false identity away from them. I'm snatching it from their soul. And that hurts them because every single cell in their body is vibrating and resonating to that programming code that they've been given since birth. And now it feels alone, it feels naked. They feel exposed. And especially the older they are, the worse it is, because now they realize, oh my God, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, this information might be invalid. This information that I believe in so dogmatically, that I've held so close to my heart all these decades, might not even be close to the truth. And now what? No.